Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're getting into something I think everyone deals with, politely shutting down bad ideas at work.
Yeah, it's a real minefield sometimes, isn't it? How to say no without making enemies.
Exactly, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Someone suggests something. Well, let's just use the classic example, replacing all the office chairs with yoga balls. Thanks, Karen.
Oh, the yoga balls.
Yeah.
Always the yoga balls.
So the real question isn't if you say no, but how. You don't want to be rude. You don't want the awkward silence.
Or start, subtly checking job listings under the desk.
Right. So our mission today is basically to give you a toolkit for this. We're going beyond just saying no.
We're talking strategy.
Yeah, like 3 levels of professional rejection, the soft touch, the neutral ground, and the firm but fair shutdown.
And we'll decode some of that corporate speak, the phrases that sound positive but actually mean not happening.
Plus the tactical use of playing devil's advocate. Okay, let's dive in.
Right, so why different levels? Well, it's really about context, isn't it?
How so?
Well, think about it. An idea just tossed out in a brainstorm that needs a different touch than, say, someone's pet project they've poured hours into.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Calibration. So let's start with level 1, the soft letdown. This is for those ideas that are maybe a bit out there.
Exactly. It's about sowing a little doubt gently, not a full rejection.
Like saying, that's one way to look at it.
Yes, that phrase is great because it's ambiguous, isn't it? It acknowledges the input.
Without actually agreeing with it.
Precisely. It gives the other person a pause, maybe a chance to think, okay, maybe there are other ways. It's like leaving an escape hatch open.
So the unspoken message could be anything from, not sure, to, wow, that's creative.
Or even, I fear this creativity, depending on the idea. It's subtle.
Okay, subtle, got it. Then there's level 2, the neutral redirect. This is about shifting focus.
Yeah, moving the conversation towards something else, something maybe more viable, without directly pointing fingers at the first idea.
So like, okay, interesting thought. Let's explore some other options too.
Exactly. Let's explore other options.
Yeah.
Is good because it looks forward. It doesn't get bogged down in why the current idea might not work.
And you can tie it to strategy, right? Like asking,
How does this fit with our main goals for the quarter? Something like that. You're not saying the idea itself is bad.
you're questioning its relevance, its fit. Does it actually move the needle on what we're trying to do?
Right. It prompts a discussion about alignment, which is offered a very legitimate reason to redirect.
Okay. But what if you need to be, well, clearer, more direct, but still keep your job? That brings us to level 3, the professional hell no.
Right. Sometimes you need to signal stronger reservations. But professionally,
So maybe something like, I'm wondering if this might have some unintended consequences we should consider.
that works well. It flags potential risks, potential problems without being, accusatory. It opens the door to talk about downsides.
The subtext being, this could really blow up in our faces.
Potentially, yes. Or suggesting maybe we should pressure test this concept first.
Ah, hinting that it might not survive contact with reality.
Kind of. It highlights potential weaknesses, the need for validation. The underlying thought often is, I really doubt this will work when we actually try it.
We actually heard from a listener at Failed Diplomacy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they used an overly enthusiastic, fascinating approach for a really bad idea. Guess what happened?
Oh, no. It went ahead.
Went ahead, and now they're cleaning up the mess. It just shows, finding that right level of directness is key.
It really is. Too soft can be dangerous.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so those are the levels. What about specific techniques in the moment?
Yeah, the practical stuff.
Well, a really common one is the yes, but technique.
Ah, the feedback sandwich. Start positive, then the critique.
Sort of. Like, I really appreciate you bringing a fresh perspective, but I'm concerned about how scalable this would be.
The unspoken part being because it's not scalable at all.
Pretty much. The yes part validates the effort, which makes the but, the actual concern, a bit easier to hear.
Makes sense. What else?
Playing devil's advocate. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah. When someone says, okay, just to play devil's advocate
You
here.
know it's coming. Right.
Absolutely. They're about to poke holes in the idea. It's code for, let me tell you why this might be a bad idea.
It is. But it's clever because it frames the critique as exploring potential risks, hypothetical problems. It feels less like a direct attack.
Okay. And then there's the redirect suggesting it's maybe for another team.
Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe the marketing team would be better placed to explore this.
I've seen that. The hidden message can be.
It can vary. Sometimes it genuinely is a better fit elsewhere. Other times it's let them deal with it,
A polite way of getting it off your plate.
essentially. And one more tactic. Don't underestimate. Let me think on that.
The strategic delay buys you time.
Exactly. It avoids an immediate no, but doesn't commit you. Gives you space to formulate a proper response, or sometimes.
The idea just fades away on its own.
That happens too.
Mm.
It's a gentle stall tactic.
Now, it's worth mentioning how people do this, how they say no. It really varies, right? Culture.
Oh, absolutely. Communication norms around disagreement are hugely different across cultures. It's not one size fits all.
Like the American style, often quite direct, but maybe framed as progress. Okay, let's pivot.
Yeah, let's pivot often means this isn't working, time for plan B. There's a focus on action moving forward.
Whereas the British style, more indirect. Lots of understatement.
Definitely. You might hear something like, that's quite a bold approach. And depending on the tone,
That could mean that's completely insane.
it could indeed. Yeah, you have to read between the lines sometimes. The nuance is key.
And what about, say, the Australian style? I hear it can be pretty straightforward.
Often, yeah. More casual, maybe more blunt. You might just hear, nah, not really feeling it.
Yeah, nah. Love it. Clear, at least.
It often is. We even had a listener share a great little hack.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, just offering a thoughtful, accompanied by a polite smile, can be surprisingly effective in some situations. It conveys skepticism without saying a word.
Huh. The power of the silent. That's brilliant. And slightly terrifying for the person pitching the bad idea.
It shows how much nonverbal cues matter. So to help you, the listener, practice this, we've got a little challenge. Rejection Spy.
Ooh, I like the sound of this. Okay, what's the mission?
3 parts. Mission 1, spot fake positive rejection. Start noticing those phrases like interesting take or that's certainly one perspective.
And listen for what doesn't come next, like actual enthusiasm or follow-up questions.
Exactly. Is it genuine interest or just polite dismissal?
Okay, mission 1, spot the fakes. What's mission 2?
Mission 2, test the devil's advocate trick. Try out somewhere low stakes, maybe with friends or on a minor point at work. Use the phrase, just to play devil's advocate for a second.
And see how it feels to raise concerns that way. Less confrontational.
That's the goal. Get comfortable articulating the potential downsides using that framing. Got it. And the final mission.
Mission 3, deploy. Let's table this. If a bad idea is picking up steam and you need to pause it politely but firmly, try using, maybe we should table this for now and revisit it later.
The polite emergency brake.
Pretty much. We actually had a listener report back a success story. They used, I think we should explore other options first, when their boss proposed something problematic.
And it worked.
It did. They called it a diplomatic win. Redirected the whole conversation.
Nice. See, these phrases actually work.
They really can. It's about having them in your back pocket.
So, quick recap then. You've now got a better handle on the different ways to say no politely. You know the levels, from soft to firm.
You can start spotting those coded phrases, the corporate jargon for rejection.
And you're aware that culture plays a big role too. Basically, you're better armed for those brainstorm meetings.
It really boils down to balancing respect for the person with clarity about your concerns. It's tricky, but doable. It's a crucial skill, really. You're now equipped to handle the next riled suggestion, yoga balls or otherwise, without being labeled the office grump.
Exactly. Be strategic, be polite, but be clear when needed.
Well said. And looking ahead, our next deep dive, this sounds fun. We're tackling how to sound like a leader without actually leading.
Ah, yes. Exploring all those buzzwords and empty phrases. Let's circle back, synergize, take it offline.
Exactly. We're going to dissect the language of pseudo-leadership. Should be interesting.